All right, let's jump right into this explainer. Today, we are conducting a ruthless digital autopsy of the June 2026 cybersecurity crisis. We're looking at a total watershed moment in digital defense. Why? Because the exact platforms that billions of us trust every single day for our productivity, tools from Microsoft Copilot to Google Workspace, well, they've literally been turned against us. They've been weaponized into lethal assets by state-sponsored hackers and ransomware syndicates. Actually, the original report we're looking at sets the stage perfectly with this command. Activate your mental firewalls and join us for a ruthless cybernetic autopsy of next-generation digital warfare. I mean, the stakes have absolutely never been higher. We're way past theoretical threats now. We're talking about active, invisible breaches sitting right inside the enterprise systems we blindly trust. And look, this wasn't just one bad day at the office. This was a cascading collapse across the entire month of June 2026. First week of June, we saw the light LLM admin breach. Second week, Dragonforce ransomware inside MS Teams. Mid-June, the Copilot search leak is discovered. And then, boom, June 16th, a massive Google Workspace infiltration is exposed. The sheer scale and speed of these overlapping disasters, it's honestly staggering. Okay, let's dive right into this. Section 1, the AI trust collapse, how Microsoft's AI became a corporate spy. So our first major vulnerability involves tools that were supposed to be our harmless little assistants, right? But instead, they've become the ultimate corporate spies. We're talking about the one-click search leak attack in Microsoft 365 Copilot. Here's how deceptively simple it is. A target clicks a single link, and malicious actors can just seamlessly pull emails, calendar details, and highly sensitive corporate files right out of the internal network. And why does it work so flawlessly? Because that malicious link points directly to a real, legitimate Microsoft.com domain. It completely bypasses enterprise defenses. The catastrophic failure of our legacy defenses against this new threat is, frankly, alarming. Just look at the penetration test data. Traditional anti-phishing filters, usually they boast a 98.5% success rate. But against Search Leak, zero. Absolutely 0%. A complete bypass because the domain is trusted. Standard endpoint detection and response systems drop from 92% effectiveness to a measly 14.3%, completely failing to detect the hidden code. Even AI prompt firewalls plummet to just 42.8%. The reality is, standard security tools are essentially blind to this new generation of prompt injection attacks. But it's not just the end users getting duped, the core infrastructure itself is collapsing. Let's break down the attack on Light LLM. This is a hugely popular open-source AI gateway managing connections to over 100 AI models. This attack is basically a digital heist. Step 1. Attackers exploit default, low-privilege accounts to get a foot in the door. Step 2. They chain 3 distinct vulnerabilities together to quietly climb the ladder, achieving privilege escalation. Step 3, they grab full admin access. And once they have that, they expose every single provider API key. They literally steal the master key ring to the organization's entire AI communication infrastructure. No forced entry required. Section 2, Ghosts in the Network, Dragonforce ransomware. Shifting from rapid-fire panic to a sense of creeping dread here. Threat actors aren't just breaking in anymore, they are hiding in plain sight. A crucial concept to understand here is living off the land, or LOTL. This is a tactic where hackers use the legitimate, native tools that are already installed in your network to hide what they're doing. Think of it like a burglar breaking into an office building, but instead of sneaking around in the shadows wearing all black, they just put on a standard corporate security uniform and confidently walk the halls. They blend right in. And here is the terrifying real-world application of that exact tactic. The Dragonforce ransomware gang developed a custom malware called Backdoor Turn. But instead of pinging their own shady servers, which, your firewall would block instantly, they hide their command and control traffic directly inside Microsoft Teams relays. Yeah, the exact same app you probably have open on your computer right now. Because Teams traffic is universally whitelisted and considered essential for business, endpoint security just waves it right on through. They perfectly bypass data loss prevention systems, operating as invisible ghosts inside the digital walls. Section 3, Silent Cloud Infiltration, Manipulating Google Workspace. Let's move on to our third crisis point. This one is an absolute masterclass in silent infiltration within one of the world's most popular cloud environments. We're looking at an operation by a China-linked advanced persistent threat group targeting North American medical, academic, and military research networks. What's fascinating is their methodology. The initial breach, they deployed a backdoor on RedCap research servers simply to steal login credentials.
But the real genius is the exfiltration. Instead of kicking the door down and installing noisy, easily detected malware, they just logged into the victim's Google Workspace panels with those stolen credentials and rewired the native email routing rules.
By manipulating those perfectly legitimate Google Workspace rules, they set the system to auto-forward all sensitive defense and academic emails to external accounts that they controlled. They silently siphoned data for over a year. The total lack of complex malware is exactly why the state-sponsored espionage stayed completely undetected for so long. They literally weaponized the cloud platform's own native capabilities against it. Section 4. Hunting the Developers. North Korea's Narwhal Rat. Let's see how this threat landscape builds even further. While some groups are quietly rewiring cloud rules, others are getting highly aggressive with social engineering. When we contrast standard enterprise defenses, staff training, isolating developer environments, behavioral monitoring, with the tactics of North Korean group APT-37, a terrifying gap emerges. These attackers bypass those technical walls entirely. They deploy fake Microsoft alerts, they use a contagious interview campaign, and they target software developers directly. They are aiming straight for the human beings who hold the keys to the kingdom. This is brilliantly illustrated in their contagious interview campaign. They reach out to software engineers with fake job recruitment offers or fake code review requests. When the developer engages, they're tricked into downloading the Narwhal Rat malware, disguised as a Microsoft security alert. So if you're a developer, that random, flattering recruitment message on LinkedIn, it could literally be a state-sponsored trap. And the goal isn't just to steal a few files, it's to infect the vital tools these engineers use to build software, laying the absolute groundwork for massive supply chain attacks down the road. Section 5. The New Security Paradigm. So considering the weaponization of AI, the invisible ransomware in our communication apps, and the targeted social engineering of our developers, where does this actually leave us? Well, this quote sums it up perfectly. Current market sentiment within the enterprise cloud and cybersecurity sectors is anchored in extreme fear. Chief information security officers everywhere have watched the one-click search leak bug and the Google Workspace infiltrations shatter their trust in foundational cloud platforms. The panic in the enterprise sector is palpable. But amidst all this extreme fear, there is a really striking metric, plus 4.5%. While legacy systems are failing left and right, stock valuations for companies providing next-generation zero-trust architecture and behavioral AI defense solutions have absolutely surged. Desperate organizations are rapidly yanking their IT budgets away from old tools and pouring them into proactive, AI-driven security platforms. The market is violently pivoting to adapt to this new reality. The overarching takeaway from this explainer is a harsh reality. Traditional firewalls have fallen. When hackers exploit native email routing rules or mask traffic inside Microsoft Teams, no standard antivirus alarm is ever going to trigger. Signature-based defenses are fundamentally obsolete against these living off the land and AI-driven prompt injection attacks. Shifting to behavioral AI monitoring, which watches for unusual actions rather than just known bad files, and implementing strict zero-trust architectures, that's no longer optional. It is mandatory for survival. Which leaves us with this final, absolutely critical thought to consider as we wrap up today's explainer. Given everything we've just uncovered, the invisible ghosts in our networks, and the weaponized productivity tools, are your digital fortresses truly safe? Or, like so many others in June 2026, are they already being conquered from within without you even knowing it? Keep those mental firewalls active and stay curious.